Who gets more All-Star selections in their career? Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen.
This is such a hard jump ball. I was going back and forth on this forever. I'm gonna go with Sonia mainly because the WNBA is so insanely talented and deep at the four position that it's just so hard for Kiki Iriafen to do this every single year. And not to say there aren't a ton of good wings in the WNBA as well, but at the four you have literally many of the best players in the world. So just from a sheer like math odds situation, I think I'll take the three spot.
It's funny. Each time I've done one of these, I always get to take the opposite opinion of someone. My answer is going to be Kiki, and it's kind of for what you're saying. Yes, the dominant players in the WNBA are the post players, but that's the reason why, because Kiki's game is so much louder and more visibly impactful than Sonia's is when she's out there on the floor, because Kiki's going against Brianna Sturt. She's going against Asia Wilson. She's going against Alyssa Thomas, all these MVP caliber players, and she's thriving. Every time Kiki scores, it's going to be a big bucket because she's scoring over one of these star post players. It's either going to be a post up or it's going to be a face up shot. It's going to be her getting an offensive rebound over one of those players and putting it back. So I just think her game is a little bit louder than Sonia's. And also, with there being so many star post players, the way the all-star system kind of works is that it favors forwards getting more options of going to be an all-star than guards and wings. So by those two reasons alone, I'm going with Kiki. But I like that we went two different directions
Yeah,
on.
the spots available was also sticking out in my mind as like the flip side of the math problem that I laid out. So it's hard to kind of guess where those will balance each other out or which side will get the edge there. This is a hard one. We're gonna have to like revisit this in 10 years and see how it shakes out.
Yeah, for one, it's going to be a topic for another day. We need to revisit what positions get to be in the All-Star game. I think it's time that we just kind of move past that. But regardless, it's time to inbounds the ball. Let's move on. The two rookies with Sonia and Kiki, we're around them more than the average fan is. We're at pretty much every practice, every single game. We get to interact with them on a daily basis. What are your impressions about these two players that maybe the fan at home doesn't get to see?
Yeah, starting with Sonia, we talked about the Ariel Atkins comp on the court, and it holds off the court too. Just, a little reserved, but plays older than her years, kind of talks older than her years. There's a maturity there, kind of a business-like approach in a good way. Like, not that she's not fun and friendly, but she's very purposeful, I guess, or intentional about how she goes about things. Eric Thibault used to call Ariel Steady Eddie sometimes, and I think of that from time to time with Sonia, the way that she scored in double figures in her first 14 games of her career. Like, who does that as a rookie? That's insane. So yeah, I think just her personality is very steadying naturally, and that's like not something you often get from a rookie, I feel like that's usually a veteran thing, is being that steadying presence on the court, off the court. So that's really unique for her. And then Kiki has to be the teammate that everybody loves, right? Like there was the video that the Mystics posted from Tuesday's camp game where Steph Dolson was dressed up in her first of two Wicked themed outfits of this week, and Kiki waited like in the tunnel where they were walking in just to be able to clap and cheer and scream for Steph in her, dare I say, awesome outfit. And so that's just kind of like one way to look at like the teammate that Kiki is. I mean, we saw her lift up Brittany Sykes after Thursday's win and kind of spin her around. Like I think she just brings kind of a verve and an energy, and it's not like necessarily the loudest player, right? Like Shakira and Slim can each sometimes be really loud when they feel like it. And Kiki, I think there's just like a buoyancy, like a joy, like a happiness that she brings that's really nice. And I think the two of them have been good for each other too. I think that's something that people might not necessarily see, but they kind of became fast friends at the draft, and Kiki called them built-in buddies for each other the other day, getting used to the W and going through the same things. And even though they don't play the same position, but they're starting together and kind of going through all those ups and downs together. And it's kind of only fitting that they're all stars together too.